Well, the first thing I have to tell you guys is I binge watched the entire 8 episodes. I never got up from my chair, and I was spellbound, starting with the concept and structure, and then just enthralled as this story unfolded. I am in love and addicted to Night Sky.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That means so much.
Please tell everyone that.
This is an amazing high concept story. Where did the idea for this series come from? And I have to say, I'm very glad you're doing it as a series, because to compact all the possibilities into a single film would be a disservice to your creativity.
Thank you. Yeah, the idea, I think that I don't want to say trick, but the key to it is that for us, we approached it as like a really, really small story at first about this couple and their relationship and their day-to-day lives. And that day-to-day life happens to also include a chamber in their backyard that can take them to another planet, which is obviously not something that many of us on Earth have, if any. But you can see that it's gotten to a point where it really is integrated into their life in an unexpected way. And so I think that, it really started, like I said, with this relationship drama between the two of them, and a story about a couple who's aging together, who's approaching the questions of mortality together, and who are wondering, what does it all mean? What does it mean for us to have shared this life together? And what do we do as we approach the later stages of it? And this science fictional aspect of it, this chamber in their backyard, felt like a way to access all of those questions in a deeper way that's also exciting, adventuresome, mysterious, and fun.
Well, I have to tell you, the heartbeat of this entire series is Sissy Spacek as Irene. And of course, when you're casting somebody, she does have bunker experience, as we all know.
Yeah.
But she is truly your heartbeat here. And we really see the wonder through her eyes, even more so than the JK's character of Franklin. And I love that, because she really gets, there's so many avenues to go with the character of Irene as a still grieving mother, as a grandmother. Now we have Jude popping up in here, and a woman looking for answers. Crafting the role of Irene and Franklin. How challenging was that to really make these fully fleshed characters, and especially explore the emotionality that comes with Irene?
Well, I'll tell you, this is Daniel. It's a lot easier when you have Sissy Spacek and JK Simmons in that. We had the luxury of writing all of the scripts before we started production.
Oh, nice.
That's a great gift, because it allows, obviously, me and Holden and everyone else to focus and to know where we're all going, and the actors too as well. And so I have to say, we were so lucky. Obviously, it's rare to get the actor that you had in mind while you're developing the show, and that really is the truth. Because with Sissy, we heard her voice in this character, and so when she said yes, it was sort of shocking. We certainly had confidence in it, but to have her see the merits that we saw and to take a shot on this was such a confidence boost. And then that helped us get JK, and JK is just an iconic character actor operating at the top of his game. So when these two actors showed up, we knew we had the talent there, but you never quite know if the chemistry is going to work. until you turn the camera on. And thankfully, I can say that we knew a few minutes into turning the camera on that we maybe had captured something in a bottle that was special. And I hope that spirit sort of pervades the show, because you're right, they are the beating heart of it. While we have a fantastic bigger cast, JK and Sissy, this is, that's the heart of the show, and we rise in sync with them.
Yeah, and they are perfection. If anybody wants to ever see a master class in pairs acting, just all they have to do is watch the two of them as Irene and Franklin, because they are astounding, absolutely astounding with the emotionality and the beats. And the beats of this series, I was curious how this was going to play out episodically in finding the beats and structuring the story. And you guys have done such an amazing job with setting the stage for us in episode 1 to the stars. And then we get a second stage that's set in episode 2. And then we have things that start melding. How challenging was it to find the structural pace on the page of telling these 8 episodes, and then capture that through your editing team of Josh and Sheridan and Joe?
It's a great question. Yeah, I mean, the pace of the show and what exactly that means is something that was really, really top of mind for us. It's something we talked about a lot. And, I think that we always wanted to take our time, although it doesn't mean that the show is always slow. It means it feels like it's slow when it needs to be, and then that means it can speed up when it needs to as well. And there are certainly plenty of times when it needs to. And I think the mix of those two paces is what makes it so impactful, and things happen at unexpected times or in unexpected ways. And, just when you think the story might be ratcheting up, it might slow down, and vice versa. And so in the writing process, that was something we were attuned to. I think all the directors really understood and what we were trying to do, and brought their own takes on it. And then, we had this great, I'm so happy that you mentioned the editors. All 3 of them were so talented. Josh really set the tone for us in how the show should feel pace-wise in the first episode, and the rest of the team kept it going throughout it. And, we wanted to be a kind of, the pace is key to the show, so I'm glad that it worked for you.
Really, it's so well done. And even the way the episodes are broken down, it's very strategic the way you've done it, and it works perfectly. So often with a continuing series like this, or a limited series, sometimes you might watch it and it's like, okay, why did this episode end here? Why didn't it end 10 minutes earlier or 10 minutes later? But I'm thrilled with how you broke this out episodically. It really plays well and keeps you interested and on your toes, and kept me moving to the next episode and moving to the next episode, moving to the next episode, and never getting up, because it's that riveting. So you guys did an amazing job with that. How challenging was it to find your right team of directors, and similarly your cinematographers? You've got some great directors in here picking up episodes, and I'm curious about finding the right ones and then finding the right cinematographers, because you've got cohesive looks, but you also have distinctive individuality that's coming through.
Yeah. Thank you, Debbie. Well, it was incredibly important to us to find the right collaborators. It's something that we take incredibly seriously. Like sort of making a TV show is kind of like a restaurant, and like we try to control every aspect of the experience, whether it's who you meet when you walk in the door, and where you sit, and what the tablecloth's like, and what ingredients are in the dish, and everything. So it's kind of similar to that, and so we're very discerning, and we're cinemaphiles. We love films, so we knew we had to get directors who matched that kind of level of discernment. And so we were so lucky to get Juan, who's an Oscar-winning director for The Secret of Their Eyes, which is an amazing movie. And our producing director was a British gentleman named Philip Martin, who's directed 7 episodes of The Crown.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Pulcini and Shari Berman, I went to Columbia Film School. They went there. They were sort of idols of mine, coming off of American Splendor with Paul Giamatti. And Jessica Lowrey is just a fantastic, kind of TV director who's worked terrific shows. Dick Mahoney, the same thing. So for us, it was critical to find the right partners who took the same care and attention and wanting to make something great. And that's really the guiding star for us. And with our cinematography, Ashley Connor was just this up-and-coming indie New York DP who had already assembled a great body of work. And we sensed a level of talent there that we wanted to get in on the ground floor of. And so we're so proud to sort of be her first DP piloting kind of gig. And so it all came together.
Well, and
we certainly looked for people we weren't afraid to look for people who would come from the small indie or character-driven space like Ashley or our production designer Scott Cuzio or Sara Colangelo, another one of our directors. People who had not maybe worked in the sci-fi space before, but we knew could handle the relationship between Franklin and Irene and the other characters and put that on screen in the way we all envisioned.
I'm glad you brought up Scott Cuzio, your production designer, because what we see unfold, especially with what Franklin and Irene get to experience, is amazing. That is so beautiful. When you guys were writing this, did you have any sense between yourselves as to what you were looking for visually? Not just in your visual tonal bandwidth, which your directors and your cinematographers are going to bring to life, but in the actual visual design, such as the chamber, the hallway, the bunker, Newark. You made Newark look really good here, by the way. But then primarily what Irene and Franklin get to see when they look to the stars, because that's stunning. So I'm curious how much visual input you had, or if you just let Scott go off and just create something fabulous.
Well, actually, it was a surprisingly collaborative process between a lot of different people, besides Holden and myself and Juan and Philip Martin and Ashley and obviously Scott at the center of it all. I have to say, it was surprisingly, sometimes those things can really turn sour where it's like committees are trying to decide something. But in our case, I think we were all kind of aligned, and we had a general agreement on sensibility and the types of aesthetics that made sense for us and for the show. And then it was just kind of honing it down over time and sort of trying things. I appreciate your appreciation of that. Means a lot to us because a lot of people are not cognizant of how much effort goes into that.
And also just quickly shout out, particularly for the observation room, we had a great concept artist named Seifel Hawk, who took a lot of the input from us and especially Scott and transformed it into that room that you see on screen.
What kind of learning curve has this been like for the two of you in bringing Night Sky to life? Because this is an ambitious endeavor. This is not some simple little half-hour or hour drama. This is a cohesive, ambitious, long-term endeavor. So I'm curious what the learning curve was like for the two of you in bringing this to life.
It was, it's interesting. It was a lot of first times. I've worked in television quite a bit over the last decade or so, and Holden was new to it, at least on the drama side of things. And I think that, the fact that Amazon felt confident in giving us the ship to sail, thankfully, they did, and they trusted us. So the learning curve was every day we were learning something new, but we had some basis and grounding in how television works and how actors work, but it was a little bit seat of the pants sometimes too. But we surrounded ourselves with super talented and experienced people, and we knew when to draw upon that and when to trust ourselves.
I'm glad you trusted yourselves because you have produced a remarkable product, a remarkable series. But my final question is, am I getting a season 2?
Well, we hope as much as you do. I'll say that. This is a story that we don't feel like we're finished telling. We love our cast, we love our crew, we want to work with them again, and we want to keep making Night Sky. So we're certainly hoping for a season 2.
Well, I got fingers, toes, and eyeballs crossed for it, guys. Oh, Daniel, Holden, thank you so much. This has been such a joy to get to talk to the two of you about Night Sky. And I hope we get to do it for season 2.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you so much, Debbie.
Thanks, guys.